What's going on, traders? Welcome to Investing Trends, where we talk about the latest news and trades on trending stocks. Welcome back to the Ark Invest series, where we track the daily activity of the popular ETF, Ark Invest. If you don't know who Cathie Wood is or why Ark Invest is such an amazing ETF, then watch the first video of this series by clicking in the suggested link above. Now, before I dive into the trades, I just want to quickly address how Resolute is trying to take over Ark Invest and kick out Cathie Wood. I don't think this is a big deal, and they are just trying to sort out some admin stuff that got a bit out of hand. Nevertheless, worst case scenario, Cathie Wood does get kicked out, then we all know that investors and followers will leave Ark Invest and move to the new fund that Cathie Wood manages next. If you didn't think to do this, I strongly recommend it, as the ETF's main value is the management team. And Cathie Wood, if she leaves, she will take the team with her. I frankly want Cathie Wood to leave or get kicked out from Ark Invest just to see what happens to Ark Invest without Cathie Wood, and start a new series on Cathie Wood's brand new ETF. But my expectation is that this admin stuff will be sorted out with new terms and continue as is. That being said, let's take a deep dive into their daily trading activity for this week and insights into their specific holdings. Here we have a list of all the stocks that they have bought or sold. Overall, they are on a selling trend with a net outflow of 2 million shares sold for the week. They sold 1 million shares on November 17th, but that mainly came from one Japanese-based stock called Z Holdings Corporation, which operates as an internet search engine Yahoo Japan and does media businesses and advertising. Similarly to last week, Ark Invest continues to be bullish on Repair Therapeutics, consistently buying into the stock every single day except for Friday. They stopped selling NanoString Technologies and Doyu International, but they sold a whopping 3.4 million shares of Doyu International for the past 3 weeks, which is crazy. Looking at the charts, they started selling the shares when it was around $15 per share, and it closed at $13.83 on Friday. It could have been a very good short-term trade for those interested in short-term gains. And those of you who invested into Doyu International just because ARK invested, I hope you guys also got out after following my series. Cathie Wood is still bearish on Exxon, selling every single day for this past week for a total of 110,000 shares just this week alone. Again, 110,000 shares is a lot in this case, as the average trading volume is only 250,000 shares. And I know a lot of you are on the Palantir bandwagon right now, and it's a very hot stock. I am happy to say that Ark Invest did not sell the stock this week, even when we saw a negative 4% day on Friday. Ark Invest is still bearish on Cyrus Pharma selling off 63,000 shares this past week. They are not showing any buying signs on this stock whatsoever. Cathie Wood and Ark Invest really got its fame from Tesla along with Square and Illumina investments. But it is interesting that they have been on a selling mode on both of these stocks. Their trading activity shows signs that Cathie Wood thinks Square and Illumina are both overvalued at the current price levels. Moving on. They bought 89,000 shares of Fastly on Monday of this week, and those who follow Fastly know that it's been on a tear this week. No trading activity on Workhorse this past week. This stock was also moving really high this past week, going from $19.60 to $25.78. Now, the highlight of this week that got everybody talking was that Tesla was crowned the S&P 500 this week, right? Well, if you didn't know, now you know. The news was announced on Monday, November the 16th after hours, and the stock shot up 13% after the announcement. Now check this out. This is the crazy part. Ark Invest happened to buy 11,000 shares that day. During the trading hours on Monday, they bought Tesla shares. You may think that, yeah, Cathie Wood is super bullish on Tesla, and why is it a surprise that they bought shares? Well, look at this spreadsheet. You can check out their trading history and see that they had no activity for the last 3 weeks. They actually sold 196,000 shares on November the 3rd, but besides that, no buying or selling. Is this timing perfect or what? Do you think this was just a coincidence? Something is fishy here, no? 11,000 shares that trading day and boom, S&P 500 announcement a few hours later. Then it gets even better. 3 days later, they sell 183,000 shares. So in addition to locking in and pocketing the gains they made on the 11,000 shares, they sell more shares of Tesla. Look, maybe they're selling Tesla shares to rebalance their portfolio. That's fair. But let's take a closer look at this really quick 3-day trade of 11,000 shares. This is a quick calculation trying to estimate how much they made on this 11,000 shares of Tesla. Here we have two dates, November 16th, purchase of 11,000 shares, and November 19th, sale of 183,000 shares. Just for those who are not really familiar with the terminology, open represents the opening price of the stock that day, high is the all-time high of the stock price that day, low is the lowest price, and close is what the stock price closed that day. Now here's the worst case scenario. They are color coded so that it is easy for you to follow. Worst case. Let's say that the price they bought was at the all-time high, the most expensive price, which is $412, and sell it at the all-time low, selling it at the cheapest price, which is $487. Now, this is the absolute worst timing within those two trading days, and that will yield Ark Invest $820,000. This is the minimum amount they walked away from trading 3 days. Now, here's the best case scenario. They buy the stock at the all-time low and sell it at the all-time high, yielding a price gain of $104. Ark Invest, in this case, walks away with $1.1 million in gains. Lastly, the median case is where we take the median price of the high and low prices in a given day. Given this scenario, Cathie Wood locks in $1 million. $1 million in 3 days, where we see the timing of Tesla stock purchase hours before the announcement of the S&P 500 being crowned? What is going on here? Did Ark just get super lucky? Just a coincidence? You can decide. If you are a fan of Ark Invest or just simply want to learn more, make sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel right now. That way you don't miss out on their latest trades and investing trends of their specific holdings. Just click on the subscribe button below this video. They have been selling Verasite this past week, having sold a total of 100,000 shares. Here we see 1 million shares sold of Z Holdings Group that we mentioned earlier. Ark Invest kept buying Nintendo shares this past week, buying close to 420,000 shares just this week alone. Remember from our last video that I am following this trade and buying into Nintendo as well. And if you also follow this trade, you'll be up right now as the stock was trading around $64.20 on Monday, and it closed on Friday at $66.32. Let's continue to see where this train leads us to. And nothing else really stands out to me too much. No trades in Zoom, although COVID cases are rising and there's a risk of states shutting down again. They sold some shares of Invitae on Friday, and let's see whether if it's just a one-time sale or if it continues next week. That's it for this video. I hope going through Ark Invest has given you additional insight to how they're thinking about the stock you're holding or any new stock ideas that you want to learn more and enter. Let this be a guide to how you navigate your trades and long-term investing to reach financial freedom. Please invest safely, subscribe to the channel, and hit that like button. I thank you, appreciate you, and see you next time.